Hey guys, welcome to set 6 of Let's Play Dragon Age Inquisition, my Mage playthrough. This set is going to start off with a romance scene involving Lilith and Iron Bull. However, due to some of the visible bits, I guess is a good way of putting it, during the scene I had to edit it. This is so I don't get flagged. I apologize. If you really want to see the scene completely uncensored, you can find it probably all over YouTube, honestly. So I apologize for that, and I hope you guys enjoy the scene.
Damn, that was... that was good, Kadan.
Are we done? I thought that was your warm-up.
All this time, and you've never said Kato. If I'd known you'd last this long, I'd have let you pick your own watchword.
People choose their own watchwords?
Normally, yes. It can be anything, so long as it's not something you'd ever shout by accident. Josephine might pick Madrigal, while Colin would go with Phylactery. As for Cassandra, it'd probably be something soft, like silk or satin.
You're sure about that?
Hey, Ben Hasrath, remember? I've got everyone pegged.
What about Varric? Wait, don't tell me. Bianca.
No, it would have to be something he wouldn't shout during sex. Maybe Paragon or Tig.
Here's a tough one. Cole.
You know, he stumped me. I actually asked him. He thought really hard about it, then finally said his watchword was stop. I don't think he got it. Probably for the best, honestly.
How about Blackwall?
Petit homme. Get deep enough under that armor. There's a man who lived the good life once.
What about Vivienne?
Tough one. I'm going with Periwinkle. She looks like a periwinkle kind of lady.
What about Sarah?
Well, it wouldn't be shite or you'd never even get started. Honestly, though, Sarah's not the kind who lets you tie her down.
If you want to make me use that watchword, you'll need to try harder.
Good to know. You helped me remember who I really am, Kadan. I won't forget that, no matter what happens. You're a damn fine Inquisitor. I hope this made it a little easier for you.
It's certainly been more enjoyable. I don't know about easier, though. Some parts have certainly gotten harder.
You think?
Alright guys, welcome to set 6. I know I said a few seconds ago, or a few minutes ago, at the start of the set. I just want to say it again because I'm actually recording now. Again, I apologize for having to edit the scene. I know it's a little thing, but those little things can get my videos flagged, taken down, and, well, we don't want that now, do we? So, I apologize I had to edit it in any way. So, yeah. Anyway, let's get to it. This set is basically going to be, us doing a lot of random shite. So, yay. Hey, Varric, how you doing?
Need something? Or are you just here to admire the dwarf?
Never mind. Okay. Let's see here. What quests do we want to do? Inner Circle. I have a lot of shit in here, don't I? Alright. Well, let's go talk to Sarah and then do some other little stuff. This set may be fairly short. I'm doing a lot of pre-recording in preparation for a bunch of other things. Also, I have finished the Let's Play for the Nexus playthrough. So if you wish to have... Oh, that's interesting. If you wish to have anything mentioned in future sets about certain aspects, leave it on this playthrough or my Warrior playthrough, and I'll be able to do it on those. So, let's get to it. Knock, knock.
One for the Empress, for Gaspar, Brianna, the Duchess, and Coincidence, right in the dangle bag.
You think all those people should be treated the same?
After Halam Sharel? Kind of. They all get little people killed and don't care. A cook here, a footman there. What's it matter, right? So long as there's a book for the throne. A pretty one, sure. But how many lives are worth one empress's arse? Ugh, that place. Should have just thrown in some bees and slammed the doors.
I don't know. You want to stop a party? I think you go earwigs.
I hate those things, with their little pinchy butts. Josephine should add that to her paper threats. You know the real lesson from all this? Never sleep with an empress. That, and Briala being an idiot, the whole thing would have gone different if that little piss-up wasn't in the middle.
That was a mistake on their part. It made everything worse.
Wrong way around, Inquisitor. It started worse. Lots of people died before there was a hole in the sky. That's who you're saving. If you get a chance, maybe remind them not to be idiots. I hear Vashel was good pay for you, Inquisitor. Time to go see if my friends came through too. Got a location for a stash. Hopefully something nice for my trouble. Well, your trouble. Just let me know when you're ready to head out. Be sure to bring your empty pockets.
I'm ready if you are.
Always, yeah. My favorite part, this. Let's go see what friends can get us.
Alright, how's it going? We want... Let's see here. Vivian and Iron Ball. Oh, it's a kissing picture, I think. Not entirely sure. Let's go. This will be interesting considering Sarah and Vivian don't really get along. So I've done a few things off screen. I may have to stop talking a little bit. Went to an area and grinded out for schematics. I am planning to do a video that will highlight this aspect for the guides video. So hope you guys look forward to it. It's a really great place to grind out for some really hard to find schematics. Well, schematics in general, really. Then again, I'm certain a lot of you already know which one I'm talking about.
Wait, this is weird.
What?
I was expecting a village or something. The people that leave me stuff don't trek out to places like this. Give me a city and I'll give you a tour, but surprise, surprise, I don't know stupid woods or ruins. What's that?
Don't hurt me. Harmond made me do it.
What's your name and why are you here?
He made me come. Said I had to lead him to her because I said things. It was just bar talk.
This was supposed to be a simple drop. What's going on?
You're her. You're the one he's waiting for. It's her. She's here. Red Jenny.
Well, shite. Alright, let's go. Check used to my spells. What do I have? Right. It's been a while since I played as my mage, so I'm not used to what spells I have right now. Give me a second while I get ready, or use this again.
Right. Oh, hold on. I was not aware the Inquisitor was personally involved. This is a tragic misunderstanding. Let's all sheathe our swords, you walk out, and we'll conduct this like business.
Don't believe this pissbag. He started it.
There. That wasn't so hard, was it? We identified the confusion, and we worked past it. I'm Lord Pel Harmond. I do hope, Inquisitor, that you continue to respond to reason. After all, your choice of company is hardly virtuous.
Freaking user, you are. Another noble prick who punches down.
We're the same, you and I. Well, that is overstating it. You are nothing like me, but we both need people.
This ambush was your doing. Or am I remembering that wrong?
Granted, it wasn't a direct attack, but the first move was hers, and apparently yours. Honestly, previous to this very moment, I thought you'd also been tricked by these Red Jennies. Despite your foreign nature, as Inquisitor, you are a social peer. I attacked them on behalf of us both.
Arse biscuit.
Quite. Inquisitor, Herald, I don't want to be your enemy. I'm barely invested in being hers. If you are willing to recognize an opportunity, we could be exceptional partners. Now what was the point of that?
Mother puss-bucket, friggin' bastard, shite-bag, piss-face. Eat it, you lop-eared son of an arse-nut, rot-suck piece of...
Sarah!
What?
I think you're done. At this point, you're making wine.
Ugh, that makes it worse. Friends, Inquisitor. Better than his lot any day.
Well, Sarah has anger issues. Not to be surprised, but, you know. That still is one of my favorite scenes, just the whole knife thing.
Hey you, know what? Thanks. Felt good to stomp the smile off that pisshead's face. It doesn't go bad like that often, yeah? But when it does, they deserve it.
Risky, but keep it within the Inquisition and I'll support you.
Even though there's puckered around us?
Even so.
Well, good then. Right, what do you mean? Because I am really not used to that acceptance thing you're doing right there.
We'll have some differences, but I want to be one of your friends.
You're pretty big to be one of my contacts. Important, I mean, not fat. But all right, Inquisitor. You're on my good side. We'll see if it lasts. You have a problem. That over there is a full tavern, but everyone's drinking alone. They're all up their own arses about the Inquisition. I can't have fun with everybody whinging, and they'll fall on their swords before Coryphanus can push them. I'm thinking pranks. Just you and me messing around in people's stuff. You know, to start.
You have an odd idea of preparation. I need to keep them at their best.
What's best then, Mopey? Constantly ready for death to fall from the gaping hole up there. I know people. Pissed off and fired up is better than dreary Bleary. Come on.
Lead the way.
What, really?
Really?
I knew you were different. Let's go.
Alrighty.
Right, General uptight.
Hi.
Inquisitor, if you're looking for the commander, he's gone to speak with Seeker Pentagast.
Okay.
What, the desk? Oh, yes. Center of the Empire and all that. What to do, what to do.
All right, Sarah. What do you want to do?
Thing looks heavy. Don't want to move or break it. I got it. Easy one. Just a slip of something under here. There, won't notice much, but it's just that little bit wonky. He's so in control that'll piss him royally. I tell one of the soldiers and boom, the general seems like people. And since he works for you, you seem like people. Come on, next one.
That would drive me absolutely insane if my desk was wobbly like that. Alright.
What, just the door? Where she greets every important idiot. Yes.
Well, Sarah, what do you have in mind?
Get a bucket. Classic, yeah? 5 minutes of sloppy boss gets you weeks of happy kitchen staff. Except for the one who cleans it up, I suppose. But whatever. Next up. What's that? A locked... No, leave that. Not interested in her hidden things. Not for just a bit of fun. Maybe... feed her messengers something gassy? No, birds don't part. But they flap and...
Who is up there?
Go! That was fun. An inquisitor of the people, still remembering you're one of them. If all they got was the herald stuff, the serious bit, you'd start to sound pretty scary. That works, but not for long.
I think you're off the mark. By a lot.
Oh, probably. But it works on me and everyone I know, so I'm right. Same reason everyone else thinks they're right. It's all bull, so pick the advice you like, I guess. It was fun chasing you, Inquisitor. Nice for you. You! Oh, frig. You did it!
Jeez, Sarah. That laugh. Alright, let's go check on Cole, see if he has anything. Oh. Get up there. Get up there. There we are. Hey, buddy.
I didn't understand the Grand Ball. It would have been easier if they said what they wanted. Those...
Anything else?
You're different. It shines on you, shimmering, sharp. You made magic from the rifts.
Do I seem that different to you?
The Fade sticks to mages. Little figments flitting, floating free, then forced into shapes. Fire, ice, lightning. You use the Fade itself. You make it charged, but not changed. Channeled enchantments. It's strong and pure, and loud. You ripple like water when the stone is dropped.
I take it not all mages feel the way I do.
Solus is the same, but quieter. The Fade is his friend. He doesn't need to look to know where it goes. Vivienne is crisp and cool. The Fade dances, darts, lashed and leashed. Dorian pulls at pieces, pushing them to bodies. I like him more when it's just fire. And the Venatori are dark and hard and cracked and old. They pull the Fade with blood and pain and ancient lying whispers.
I hope you like the way I feel now.
Yes. It's different, but familiar. It reminds me of me. Did you need me?
I'll talk to you later.
Yes. She's still behind the curtains in the reading room, watching the blood pool on the floor.
That was actually kind of interesting, hearing Cole's view of a Rift Mage. Wonder if it's different if you choose different specializations. I'm gonna try that out later.
You asked for my opinion, and I've given it. Why would you expect it to change?
I expect you to keep your word. It's relentless. I can't...
You give yourself too little credit.
If I'm unable to fulfill what vows I kept, then nothing good has come of this. Would you rather save face than admit... We will speak of this later.
And people say I'm stubborn. This is ridiculous. Cullen told you that he's no longer taking lyrium.
It seemed very important to him.
It's not a decision to be made lightly. But now, Cullen has asked that I recommend a replacement for him. I refused. It's not necessary. Besides, it would destroy him. He's come so far.
I told him this was a bad idea.
It seems he listened. And perhaps you're right. Mages have made their suffering known. But Templars never have. They are bound to the Order, mind and soul, with someone always holding their lyrium leash. Cullen has a chance to break that leash, to prove to himself, and anyone who would follow suit, that it's possible. He can do this. I knew that when we met in Kirkwall. Talk to him. Decide if now is the time.
Oh, Cullen. You're a fucking dumbass. Well, let's talk to Cassandra first. She has something for us.
Will you not consider it, Lady Cassandra? The clerics are still sequestered. If no one steps forward, they will debate until...
And you think I could make them agree? I've heard enough for one day, Mother Giselle.
Talk to her, your worship.
What's going on now?
I assume you've heard that Leliana and I are both candidates to be the next Divine. Because of what happened at Halam Shiral, of course, the Empire favors you. Thus everyone close to you. So now the Chantry bandies our names about without even asking us first.
How can you and Leliana be candidates? You're not even priests.
It's not without precedent. Amar III was sister to the Emperor, and Galatea a commoner. Leliana and I were, at least, part of the Chantry hierarchy. It would be accepted.
If they'll pick non-priests, why am I not a candidate?
Because you're a mage, first and foremost. If they name you a candidate, they may as well join the Tevinter Imperium. Truly, though, I imagine it's because they're frightened of you. A weight such as yours would break the Sunburst throne and tear the Chantry to pieces. I just don't know why they believe Leliana or I would be any better.
If you don't want it, then tell them so.
Surely it was never meant to be like this. The Chantry, the Circle of Magi, the Templars, this cannot be what they intended when it all began. The Chantry should provide faith, hope. Instead, it cannot veer from its course, even in the face of certain death.
I'm surprised to hear you of all people say that.
Oh? Am I not the same woman who declared the Inquisition against the Chantry's wishes? In all my years as a Seeker, I did what I was told. My faith demanded it. But now my faith demands something else. That I see with better eyes.
Many extraordinary things have happened to get us to this point.
I'm not so certain. I think it has been a long time coming. Did you know Varric is Andrastian? Oh, he blasphemes with every second breath, but deep down he believes. His heart is virtuous. But he would never step foot in a Chantry. It should be the first place to which the virtuous turn. It needs to change. Perhaps I must be the one to change it.
You're not the only candidate. What about Leliana?
Leliana says she wishes to follow Justinia's legacy. But she and I remember a different person. Justinia knew her fellow clerics and the people would only accept so much change. Leliana would cast it all aside and start over, I think. And that would be chaos for us all.
What would you change about the Chantry?
The Circle of Magi has its place, but it needs reform. Let the mages govern themselves with our help. Let the Templars stand not as the jailers of mages, but as protectors of the innocent. We must be vigilant, but we must also be compassionate to all peoples of Thedas, human or no. That is what I would change.
So this is your new crusade?
I've agreed to nothing yet.
And if the Chantry calls on you?
Then I will do whatever I can, for as long as I can. I suppose I should not be so concerned. The clerics speak my name for now, nothing more. For now, restoring order and stopping Corypheus remain our priority.
I actually have a Divine of Mind for Lilith to support. More stuff for Cassandra, damn.
Planning troop movements now.
I'm trying to imagine what it will look like when we're done. All of this once belonged to the Tevinter Imperium. Andraste changed that, as did the Blights. As for what will come next, I cannot guess the Maker's plan.
Maybe there is no plan. We get the world we make, nothing more.
Then how do we determine the right choices to make? I know I want a world where people trust the Chantry and that trust is respected. I want to respect tradition, but not fear change. I want to right past wrongs, but not avenge them. And I have no idea if my wanting these things makes any of them right.
You don't think those things are a bit idealistic?
Once I might have. Today, I live in a time when anything seems possible.
Anything doesn't mean everything, or even something good.
That will not stop me from trying. Tell me, what guides you? You make decisions that shake the world, yet always seem so assured. I wish I had your confidence.
You almost sound like you admire me.
I absolutely do. I may not always agree with your decisions, but how many could do what you have done? You were a prisoner, accused and reviled, yet you've emerged from every trial victorious. The Maker's grace does not make you immortal. You live or die by your own hand. That is worthy of admiration.
I do what must be done. What other choice is there?
The demands of the moment.
Exactly.
Think of it. Like Andraste long ago, once again the fate of Thedas will be determined by a woman. It makes me proud to know you.
How is my being a woman relevant?
Because you will join a small group of formidable women who have changed history. You will inspire others for ages to come. Surely you know this. We still have a long road to travel, Inquisitor. Wherever it takes us, I'm glad you're here.
Aw, Cassandra confessed her feelings for Lilith. How cute. And she goes back to, training, I guess. Alright, let's go talk to Cullen. Damn, this is taking a while. We'll have to decide, where I'm going to go after this. As soon as I'm done talking to everyone, of course. Cullen, buddy, what's up?
Maker's breath. I didn't hear you enter.
Forgive me.
I thought you had everything under control. What's going on?
It's fine. I'll... You were right. This was a mistake.
Does that mean you'll listen to me now?
You asked what happened to Ferelden's Circle. It was taken over by abominations. The Templars, my friends, were slaughtered. I was tortured. They tried to break my mind, and I... How can you be the same person after that? Still, I wanted to serve. They sent me to Kirkwall. I trusted my Knight Commander, and for what? Our fear of mages ended in madness. Kirkwall Circle fell. Innocent people died in the streets. Can't you see why I want nothing to do with that life?
Be that as it may, you put your health and your service to the Inquisition at risk.
I know. I thought this would be better. That I would regain some control over my life, but these thoughts won't leave me. How many lives depend on our success? I swore myself to this cause. I will not give less to the Inquisition than I did to Chantry. I should be taking it. I should be taking it.
The Order doesn't control you. Isn't that enough?
I don't...
Cullen, you're in pain. This isn't worth it.
Yes, Inquisitor. There will be no further distractions. You have my word.
Feel kind of bad for Cullen. Anything else?
I need a moment. Could we speak another time?
Sure. I love the fact that they included this. It was a feature they were going to include in the original Dragon Age, lyrium addiction. But by the end of like the first couple of battles, every character was addicted to lyrium, so they just kind of removed it.
Good afternoon.
Alright, now that. Basically, you'd lose stats if you didn't drink lyrium after a certain period of time. The longer you didn't take it, the more damage you took, shit like that. So it was pretty nice. Pretty cool effect. And it really touched on a very touchy subject, you know, drug addiction and whatnot. Vivian, how are you?
I expected ruins.
They were. As you see, the Inquisition has not been idle.
Would it be possible to meet the Herald before we return to Ghislaine?
My dear Laurent, for you, anything. Allow me to present Inquisitor Adar.
Your worship, you do us great honor.
Inquisitor, this is my dear Bastien's sister, Grand Cleric Marceline, and his son, Duke Laurent of the Council of Heralds.
Madame de Fer has told us what great trials you faced, trying to save my poor brother's life.
The Maker called my father to his side. It was valiant of you to champion him in his final hours.
If only I'd been able to save Bastien.
The Circle of Magi told Bastien many years ago that his illness was incurable. It was simply his time.
Would you mind waiting for me in the chapel, my dears? The Inquisitor and I have business to discuss.
It has been our very great pleasure, Herald.
This has been quite the triumph, hasn't it? They just adore you.
I can't believe you told them about the Snowy Wyvern.
Of course, my dear. Bastien's death was a great loss. A dash of heroics was just what they needed. Laurent is a dear, almost as pious as his aunt, and new to a seat of great power in the Empire. And Marceline is one of the strongest voices among the Grand Clerics. Now they will both come to us for advice. The Inquisition is truly a power now, and there's no telling how far its influence will reach. But enough of this talk. Here, I have something for you. I commissioned this ring from the Qunari, the greatest enchanters in all Thedas, for you.
I have enchanted rings. I don't need another one.
You don't have one like this, my dear. Once it was customary for the circles to craft enchantments for their staunchest friends and allies. And you have been both. I must go to see my guests now. Another time, darling.
Oh, Vivian. We're actually going to try to elevate her to be divine, which would be very interesting. An Orlesian female mage, or Orlesian mage, because all the divines are female here. But an Orlesian mage is kind of interesting.
You acquitted yourself well enough in the game, my dear, and now you have the gratitude of an empire. Well done.
Come on, how do I do it again? I know I did it before.
Of course. Rather than dissolving it, I could name myself.
Just gonna go through this real quickly.
The same is true of people. Perhaps too people.
Come on.
And there is comfort to be had, you know. So long as they have their freedom.
I might need to do something off screen.
Anyone who did not. Inquisitor, what can I do for you, darling?
Yeah, I'll look up how to make her divine later. Whee! Alright. Josephine. We still have a quest with Liliana in our inventory.
How bracing to be in the thick of the game again. The last time I was at Alam Shiral was Countess Letienne's wedding. There were a dozen affairs, 5 secret alliances, and a duel between 2 chevaliers over the vintage of an Antivan port. But until the Duchess was unmasked, I've never seen the Winter Palace in shock.
You don't see the Empress of Orlais almost killed in cold blood every day.
Not so brazenly, no. The game's become increasingly insular in the past few years. Corypheus skillfully took advantage. It's disturbing. So few people in the Orlesian court were aware of the Duchess's machinations.
The nobles of Orlais were worried about their own health, not the Empress's.
Some must have purposefully turned a blind eye. There's often room for advancement when thrones change. But let's not lose sight of victory. Your actions at the ball have secured us allies and favors alike.
At least all this tedious maneuvering got us something.
You navigated it well. The Inquisition's reputation is now far more formidable in Orlais. Although I do wish Varric would show a bit more restraint in his accounts of the evening.
Right, sure. Do you already have a option to make Vivian divine? I'm not sure. I know that I'm going to try and make her divine in this playthrough. If not, I'll have to do it with Enna. Alright, what's this? That. I'll read that later.
It's all quiet in the hissing wastes.
Any remaining Venatori are straggling.
I'll worry about that later, like I said.
I imagine their failure.
Is there anything I really want to do this set? Let me think here. We have, let's talk to Blackwall too. I gotta do that. I don't think there's really anything else left that I want to do. Not really, anyway.
Inquisitor.
You. You're not selling it. In my Nexus playthrough, at some point I fought the dragons. A lot of the dragons. And after I finished a really hard one, I came back here to see if I could find a something to give me more oomph, you know. And I found out they were selling the final what's it? Rune for Dragon Slayers.
This is just, it's something to keep their hands busy. I'm grateful you tracked me down when you did. As exciting as wandering the woodlands was, this is better. It's good to be part of something so important. Something that could change things.
Does this mean we have your full support?
If that's what's important to you, then yes. You've earned my loyalty. You are who you choose to follow. Someone told me that once. Took me years to understand what he meant.
And some of us choose not to follow at all.
We can't all be born leaders. It was a chevalier who said those words to me. A powerful man, but never without honor. A true knight. We met as competitors in the Grand Tourney. He left me with that advice before we parted. Put aside his own ambitions to help me win the melee. I don't think I ever thanked him.
So without his help, you would have lost?
Without a doubt. I was young. I had strength and enthusiasm, but no experience. When it was over, he offered to mentor me. To teach me to become a chevalier like him. And I, young and stupid, turned him down flat. I just won the melee at the Grand Tourney. I didn't need him. I should have gone with him. Perhaps things could have been different.
Don't waste your time on regret.
Regret has its uses. It comes from reflection, and stops you from making the same mistakes twice. But I'm older, hopefully wiser, and I think I've chosen the right person to walk with. Heard you found something that had to do with wardens. Would have liked to have seen it.
No.
Alrighty, that was easy. I think that's it, really. Is there anything else I want to do before we go on? Let's see. Oh. Journal. I have a lot to do. Fuck. Alright, I'm going to stop recording for a little bit so I can prepare for the next set, or next part, and I'll see you guys in a few minutes.